Hey folks, join us for the next part of our Portugal trip. Still going up the west coast, still lots of places to see. Keep watching. This is our campsite for the next 3 nights at least. It's in a lovely coastal village called Foz de Arelho, on the side of a beautiful lagoon. It's about an hour's drive north of Lisbon. It costs €6 a night and it's €1 for a shower. It's a bit rough and ready, but I must say we absolutely love it. Don't be put off by the murky weather on these first few shots. It was very misty and overcast when we arrived, but that soon lifted. The campsite was recommended to us by 2 separate couple friends of ours. So thanks Sue and Charlie and Adrian and Jackie. What a great recommendation. You'll see from the map the other 2 places we'll visit and stop over during this video. Obidos and Nazare. Hope you enjoy this 4th episode of our Spain-Portugal trip in early 2024. Perfectly still night at our latest campsite. Absolutely beautiful. So nearly 4 weeks into the holiday, and this is the first time I managed to get the paddleboard out. It's either been too windy or the waves have been too rough or we've not been in the right place. But we found this lovely little location and we're going to stay here a few nights. It was lovely earlier when I was out, but it started getting a bit windy now. But it's a sea lagoon, so I'll see if I can swing round and show you the actual sea. You'll see there where the canoeists are. That's the sea there, beyond that sand dune. But this is a little sea lagoon, so even though the waves are really rough out there, it's quite nice out here. There's a few sandbanks that you can paddle out to, and there's the other side of the lagoon where there's another village. But it's only our first day, so I'm just exploring really. You know, if the wind drops a bit and the cloud goes, it'd be really nice. But it's about 18 degrees, so it's fine, and the water's reasonably warm. I haven't fell in yet, so as soon as I fall in, I'll let you know how cold it is. This is the campsite from the sandbank that I've just paddleboarded out to. You can hear the very noisy Portuguese school kids having a canoeing lesson. You'll see the vans over there. Ours is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in from the right. Get a bit closer. Where we are is a non-hookup. Over there, where it's a bit busier, they're the hookup pitches. But as you can see, they're right on the beachfront. And it's a lovely little village with loads of bars and restaurants. Lots of fishermen, and there's a couple of guys over there. Perhaps can't see in the water, they're looking for shellfish. They're about chest deep and they've got some sort of contraption and they're getting shellfish. I've heard in the morning those little huts that you can see there, or some mornings there's seafood, fish and shellfish etc. for sale in there, which would be good. We'll have a little explore of the village more tonight. See if there's a little shop and that sort of thing, but I've heard some good reports about the restaurants, so we'll be giving them a try, and we'll be cycling round the lagoon at some point. This is the back view.
There's the front.
With Smiley Jilly. This is the bird watching platform. I think I can see some flamingos in the distance. They are quite shy birds, so getting close to them is quite difficult. And then there's these little bits that stick out into the water, so you can get right out there and observe the birds. We brought the binos and the cameras, so absolutely beautiful around here. Must remember to stop walking when I get to the end, because there's no barrier, just a ladder going down. So if you're really daring, you can go down on the ladder. Not us on the paddle boards, but it might be later. Wow, what a nice little place. I'll show you their view. Should we put an offer in? Fabulous little cycling path around the lake. Don't know how far we can get, but we're probably going to have to come back when we get so far around when we hit the sea, because obviously we can't get across the sea. I'll show you a picture of the lagoon so you can see. But yeah, we're having a great old cycle ride. Just stopped for a little rest and a wee stop for some people. The bay clamming. I think we'll be here a long time if we're going to get tonight's tea, but we've got about 5 or 6 so far. But fortunately earlier on we bought a bag, so you know, we can show them at the end. But we're having fun anyway, just sat on the side of the board running around through the sand finding the clams.
Or not.
We're just going to see the sunset at what's this place called, Jill? Yeah, anyway, we'll put it on the screen.
Because I can't pronounce it.
But the clouds cleared away. It was a bit cloudy last night, but you can see it's getting near that time, the golden hour for light. So we're going to go down there and take some pictures. Apparently the last bar is the best place to go, so that's where we're heading. Might grab
Obviously
a beer.
There's a bar involved.
We might grab a beer while we're there. So if you don't see any really nice sunsets after this, it would just beer and no sunset. This is a series of cliffside boardwalk paths along the cliff above Arelho, Foz de Arelho. Apparently they're 800 metres long, so we can go to one end and then back to the other, and it'll be a nice walk. Great views from here. You have to sort of come into the town and then up. But we were quite fortunate, we passed all the really big posh houses, so we had a bit of a neb. Just sat about in the lagoon on the paddleboard. Just got to a really shallow bit and it made me sort of fall off because the fin hit the bottom. So I'm just sitting here now, just taking it all in, admiring the view, dipping my hands in the sand, see if I can find any clams. This is what retirement and planning's all about, I think. Just losing yourself in nature a little bit. The sea's always been an attraction to me, hasn't you? Always plenty to do on the coast, and I think a lot of it is because it's free. So yeah, we always seem to gravitate towards the coast, but we're not going to let that stop us going inland a bit at Portugal, because there is some beautiful places inland. This is a real sort of, I don't know, a resort, but it's more a locals resort, so everything's quite cheap, which is great. You know, I'm guessing the cost of living is a bit lower here, but you can get a nice meal at a reasonable price. Beer's cheap, coffee and a cake is cheap, so we're really enjoying it. We booked in for 3 nights, but we think we're probably going to extend for another 3. Generally the longest we stay here anyway is about 4 nights, but it's so relaxing here. And I think after 4 weeks it's probably the best place we've found so far. You know, you should always be striving to improve, shouldn't you, and finding the next best place. But I think Foz de Arelho is one of our favourites, and hence why there'll probably be loads of footage of it. So keep watching, and hope we'll interest you with some of the things we've done around here, and some of the things we've done up this coast that you might find interesting if you ever embark on a trip like this. Just going to give you a 360 degrees of this place. It's a lagoon, as I've said before. You can cycle most of the way around. You have to go on roads at some point. Might have said that before as well, but who cares? That's the other cliff at the end of the bay, and there's the more northerly one, and there's the motorhome site over there. As mentioned before, €6 the night, €3 if you want hookup, €1 for a shower. And I'm going to have to go because the paddleboard is floating away, and I need to get it before it gets too far.
Heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.
We're just leaving this lovely site. We'll be sad to go, but we're heading to a place called Obidos by a viaduct. So that should be exciting. See you on the next stage. So, as promised, is the aqueduct, not viaduct, in Obidos. It's actually right next to our campsite. It was commissioned in 1560 apparently by the Queen of Austria, and it carries drinking water into the centre of Obidos from 3 kilometres away, so it's quite long. Very interesting and excellent to look at, such brilliant condition. Wow, this place is beautiful.
So, when you drink, hold in the middle, like that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want I film to you?
No, no, it's all right. Thanks.
Right. It's very good. Take a little chocolate. Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good, very sweet.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
With your hand on your heart, please tell me which way to go. 'Cause I
Portuguese
should
health and
know.
safety at its best.
One piece in hand is a start.
20-foot drop down there.
Puzzle to lay. No need to say. How will I cope?
This is tonight's stop at Obidos. Lovely little medieval town to visit. Great little air for €6 a night. Well, we're only staying at this place one night, as I told you earlier, Obidos. It's now the next morning. How you pay is, they put a little envelope on your windscreen, your language highlighted, and you put your money in and you put it through in the little shed by the gate. So we're moving on from here today. Nice little site, lovely little village to look round Obidos, but there's not an awful lot more to do here, so one night's sufficient for us. So see you down the road a bit. So here's the little shed and the bins and the waste and water and everything. You can see Obidos Castle in the background though. It's only about 400 metres. As I say, it's one of these 45 medieval towns, loads of gift shops, restaurants, cafes, but nice, really good value. Definitely recommend going to see. If you didn't want to come to the air, you can see there's a great big huge car park that is big enough for motorhomes, so I think you can see it just over there. There was no one in that car park yesterday, so easy enough for you to just park up for the day and do the castle and then move on. And that's another view of it. Plenty of room. Probably would take about 25 vans. €6 a night, €2 if you're just doing drop-off and filling up, which is excellent value. The last part of this video highlights the 2 days we spent in Nazare. Nazare is a lovely seaside town on the Silver Coast, west coast Portugal. It's a popular surfing destination because of the high breaking waves caused by the underwater canyon at North Beach. Due to the height of the waves, many world records have been set and broken over recent years for surfing the highest waves in the world. It's an incredible spectacle watching the waves rise and crash just out from the fort at North Beach. A whole industry has been created in the town around surfing the highest waves in the world. Keep watching for some clips of the waves. Although not ideal surfing conditions today, the waves were still incredible to watch.
It's a fine line between letting go and losing control. So I take my love and hide it away from those who steal till I find my way. How will I call? How will I call? How will I call?
The weather is very unpredictable at Nazare. I suppose that's what you have to put up with when you're expecting big waves. So fortunately we brought our waterproof leggings, so I think we might have to get wrapped up. However, if you see in the distance there, it's a clear sky. So hopefully it might clear up a bit. Needs to, because it was going like Billy-O all night, the van rocking.
I can't sleep, but I'm hardly awake. A limbo dance, such a fine romance.